Libya's military chief of staff died in a plane crash after takeoff from Ankara on Tuesday. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky described the US-led peace deal as quite solid at this stage.
Poland is beginning construction of an anti-drone system on its border with Belarus. The system will detect, track and neutralize hostile drones.
Libya's military chief of staff died in a plane crash after takeoff from Ankara on Tuesday. General Mohammed Ali Ahmed al-Haddad was returning back to Libya from high-level defense talks in the Turkish capital, focused on strengthening the military cooperation between the two countries. According to Libyan officials, the plane, a Falcon 50 type business jet, experienced a technical malfunction. 4 other officers and 3 crew members were also on board. No one survived the crash. Shortly after taking off, the plane requested an emergency landing, notifying air traffic control of an electrical fault. Turkish air traffic controllers then lost contact with the plane while it was on its emergency landing descent. The wreckage of the plane was found near a village 70 kilometers south of Ankara. 4 prosecutors are investigating the crash, Turkey's justice minister said. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed some progress on the US-led peace deal, while acknowledging that compromises from both sides will be necessary.
Я бачив знов-таки перші напрацювання, там майже 90%, якщо чесно, саме тих додатків, які для нас важливі, на що може розраховувати наша армія і Україна, після підписання таких гарантій, наскільки сильними ми можемо бути. І виглядає все це сьогодні достатньо достойно.
On Sunday, US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff called a meeting with Ukrainian and European representatives, as well as separate talks with Russian negotiators, as productive and constructive. Witkoff noted the US-Ukraine talks focused on the development of a 20-point plan, security guarantees to Kyiv, and a focus on the rebuilding of Ukraine. While peace talks are ongoing, Russia launched a large-scale drone and missile attack on several Ukrainian cities overnight into Tuesday, local media reported.
Poland is beginning construction of an anti-drone system on its border with Belarus. Talking to reporters, Polish Interior Minister Martin Kierwiński announced that this will be the first anti-drone cluster installed on an observation tower on the border. An anti-drone cluster is a group of integrated systems mounted together that can detect, track and neutralize hostile drones. This modern border barrier, equipped with cameras, night vision and a motion sensor system, ensures a 98% effectiveness rate, Kierwiński pointed out. It is called a cluster because several devices and antennas are co-located on a single tower and operate as a single defensive unit. Kierwiński, together with Prime Minister Donald Tusk, visited the border guard site in Bobrowniki.
Ponad 6 tysięcy ludzi wieczór wigilijny spędzi właśnie na granicy i będziemy o nich ciepło myśleć. I będziemy wszyscy pamiętać, że dzięki nim wszyscy pozostali mogą bezpiecznie te święta w swoich domach spędzić.
Minister Kierwiński stressed that the Lukashenko regime, supported by Moscow, is waging a hybrid war that includes illegal immigrants and drones against Poland and the European Union.
Four men were arrested following an opposition rally in the Albanian capital Tirana on Monday. Protesters had gathered at the office of Prime Minister Edi Rama to protest against his government, throwing Molotov cocktails at the building. One of their demands is the resignation of Deputy Prime Minister Belinda Baluku, who was charged by prosecutors for alleged corruption.
Stoj të gjitha forcat politike opozitare. Stoj çdo opozitar. Stoj çdo guzimtar. Të bashkohet në këtë betejë. Në këtë betejë vendimtare për fatin e këtij kombi që po shuhet, që po shkretohet.
The opposition Democratic Party of Albania accused the governing Socialist Party of election fraud and the erosion of democracy in the country, issues they have been protesting for months.
Newly released Epstein files include emails from 2001 between Ghislaine Maxwell and someone signing as A from Balmoral. The sender, using an anonymous email, asks Maxwell rather if new inappropriate friends were found for him. The emails reference Balmoral summer camp for the British royal family and the sender's recent departure from the Royal Navy. This is the 8th batch of over 11,000 files totaling 30,000 pages, the largest release by the US Justice Department since Friday. The files include court records, photos, emails, flight logs, videos, and grand jury materials from Epstein's cases and investigations into his death. The files also include claims that Donald Trump flew on Epstein's jet at least 8 times between 1993 and 1996, more than previously reported. The Justice Department says some documents contain untrue claims against Trump submitted before the 2020 election.
US President Donald Trump unveiled a new battleship, the first of the nation's newly announced Golden Fleet. The US leader, who said the country is in desperate need of new ships, called the fleet after himself, the Trump class of battleships.
As you know, we're desperately in need of ships. Our ships some of them have gotten old and tired and obsolete, and we're going to go the exact opposite direction.
The battleship, called the USS Defiant, has been compared to the USS Iowa. The vessel will weigh between 30,000 to 40,000 tons, significantly less than the weight of the Iowa. However, Trump said it would be larger and faster.
Each one of these will be the largest battleship in the history of our country, the largest battleship in the history of the world ever built. And again, it's 100 times more powerful than the previous Iowa class.
The battleship will be equipped with hypersonic missiles, nuclear cruise missiles, railguns, and high-powered lasers, technologies that are all still at various stages of development by the Navy.
For the past 2 years, as the war in Gaza dragged on, Christmas in Bethlehem has been a somber affair. This year, Christmas celebrations and visitors are slowly returning to the city, signaling hope about the fragile ceasefire in Gaza. Christmas and religious pilgrims have always been a prime economic engine for Bethlehem.
Bethlehem has been facing hardships since March of 2020, when COVID started, and ever since it's been up and down until October the 7th, the war in Gaza and the war on all of the West Bank.
For the families who struggled to keep business afloat during the war, the sight of tourists feels like a relief after years of uncertainty.
كان عندي حوالي 80 موظف من أول الحرب قلصناهم وعوضناهم وقعدناهم في الدار وخلينا 4 أو 5 ثابتين.
In the meantime, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem paid a visit to the Holy Family Parish in Gaza. The Patriarchate statement said the visit marked the beginning of Christmas celebrations in a community that has lived and continues to live through dark and challenging times.
Many shoppers were still out on the shopping streets doing last-minute Christmas shopping. Since online orders no longer arrive in time, brick-and-mortar stores benefit particularly in the days leading up to Christmas. As pressure mounts on late shoppers, retailers are now racing against the clock. Gift vouchers, toys, books, and fashion are once again in high demand. Retailers in Austria are pleased and expect a modest but slight increase in sales this year.
Wir kaufen gerade die letzten.
Last minute also?
Ja, leider.
Haben Sie es früher nicht geschafft, oder?
Nein, eigentlich nicht. Mit Toni habe ich ein bisschen Stress gehabt, deswegen ist es jetzt alles leider nicht ausgegangen. Aber wir hoffen jetzt mal, dass wir die letzten noch finden und dann sollte sich alles gut ausgehen.
Ich glaube, es war ein solides Weihnachtsgeschäft angesichts der Rahmenbedingungen. Wir dürfen nicht vergessen, woher wir kommen. Schwierige Phase der letzten 2 Jahre. Ein kleines Plus erhoffen wir uns, ja, aber das ist trotzdem einfach in dem Setting ein gutes, solides Ergebnis, aber kein euphorischer Jubel.
In Lille, France's third largest wholesale market, the excitement is at its peak and everything is negotiable. surrounded by pallet trucks and crates of fruit and vegetables. At this market, more than 1,000 tons of produce were sold in a single day.
On les achète pour mettre dans les corbeilles parce que c'est Noël, c'est la fête. Donc nous, on veut que le client soit satisfait et qu'il goûte des nouveaux produits.
Ça va partir en combien de temps?
Là, en 2 jours, c'est parti.
In central Athens, streets filled with people carrying shopping bags. Girls dressed as Santa Claus welcomed residents and tourists alike, singing and dancing to the sound of festive Christmas music. Shop windows and streets were filled with glittering decorations, festive music and colorful lights the day before Christmas Eve. However, shop owners say they are experiencing a slower pace this year, noting increased financial concerns among consumers.
Γενικά ο κόσμος έχει μια διάθεση, αλλά είναι πολύ επιφυλακτικός και κοιτάζει πρώτα το πορτοφόλι και μετά να καλύψει τις ανάγκες που έχει. Το βλέπω και σαν μαγαζάτορας αυτό, διότι οι άνθρωποι που ήταν πιο άνετοι πέρσι, φέτος είναι πιο διστακτικοί και παρατείνουν τις αγορές τους μέχρι το τέλος.
While some Orthodox churches celebrate Christmas on January 7, Greece celebrates Christmas on December 25. This is because the Greek Orthodox Church follows the revised Julian calendar, which currently aligns with the Gregorian calendar for fixed holidays, such as Christmas.